We tried this before. We're trying it again. It's a trapped question right there. I know, you like.
I'm gonna cut that out, don't worry.
I have to figure out right now how am I gonna get that into that show without a wristband or passes. Pop up my camera like this.
Does he know you're following him?
No, not at this point. So I'm just whatever. And the ticket lady that looks at the guest list, she tries to stop me. And I'm like, look, I'm just trying to do my job. I'm trying to film. We're filming a documentary. I need to go now. This is my job. I need to do it. Take a photo. Yo, these are fucking sick. And I'm like, hey, I appreciate it. This industry, whether it be music, whether it be anything else, it happens right now. And if you post it now, it'll be seen. But if it's posted later, 2 hours after the show's done. People forget about it. They're going home. They have other things to do. The faster you can get your shit done, the faster you can move on with your life. CB doesn't sleep. What up? It's CB from CB43 Media, and you're watching Lowkey MTL.
So where did CB come from?
CB came from a nickname from when I was younger. When I was playing football, they would call me Chris Breeze. Drew Brees is one of my favorite players, and that was just kind of like the passion of mine at the time. So people started calling me that, and it kind of stuck. I also made a Facebook when I was like super young, and my brother made it without my mom knowing, and I was really hoping my mom wouldn't know. Obviously she found out, but I put it under Chris Breeze, and it kind of just stuck. And when I went in to start photography, I wrote it down as Chris Breeze 43 Photography, and I felt like that was just way too damn long. So I was like, okay. I sat down one day and I was like, I want it to be bigger than just photography. I want it to go into marketing. I want it to go into whether it may be like industry, like commercials and all those good,
So you're already like going at it with like a marketing mind.
I wouldn't say it's a marketing mind, but it was more, exactly, it was more of a branding and more of, I want to use it to better myself in the future right now.
Okay.
So I took everything and I kind of just condensed it as much as possible, but I wanted to keep the factor of telling people what it is that they're looking at right away in the title. So I looked at photography, I was like video or visuals and or shot by, but it just, nothing worked. I tried to think of directed by CB, and I was like, no, because that's just video. So I was like, I found a platform that I can truly just make my own. So I condensed everything into CB43, 43 being my birthday, April 3rd, and then I just created a media platform.
How did the logo come about?
The logo is actually a metaphor.
Okay.
So here, I have it here. So the logo, the biggest circle is truly just the world that we live in. It's whether it be times now or just times before, it's just really shitty. You have suicide, you have war, you have all these dark things going on. There's so much negativity, and you just don't see it, but it hovers,
Right. And that's the big circle?
That's the big circle.
Okay.
The medium one here, the second one, is just simply my camera lens. And the smallest one in between everything is, as cliche as it may sound, the beautiful world I'm really trying to show you guys through my camera.
Oh, okay. So that's like the middle ground of both.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty sick. And does it have like, does it have like the letter C and the B in it?
No,
kind of.
No, it's strictly a metaphor.
Okay.
I had made the logo, and then I also found the font I wanted to use as a brand. And the logo and the font, like here, was going to be two separate like logos. And I was like, well, if I just kind of merge them and put this little dot in between both of them, I feel like it can just become something very, very modern, very like
it's like
eye-pleasing.
Yeah.
So that's just something that's just stuck with me. Now it's tattooed on me. It's on shirts. And if you look at I think at least 95% of my photos, that watermark will be on the bottom in the middle.
Yeah, I really like it. It's like a perfect, and like you said, it's like modern, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit.
Yeah, it's like symbolism. Because now I feel like branding is, you're trying to like, everything that your brand represents is portrayed through that like little symbol, right?
Yeah.
You had an Instagram page before though, right? You said you did modeling?
Yeah.
And then you decided to start from scratch?
So, I mean, I was always like in front of the camera. I did some modeling here and there, whether it be freelance gigs. A friend of mine was like, hey, you should model. So I was like 15, 16 at the time. And I was like, maybe not. Maybe it's just like, even though I'm living like a life that this is, you know, I'm already open to these doors and it's happening, it's fast, and you're just growing it mentally and all that, like super fast, right? So he's like, go do it. So I tried it out and I loved it. Loved being in front of the camera, and so I made the page and it started getting a lot of traction. I ended up finishing the account with almost 14 or 15,000 followers. And it just, in the end, it just wasn't for me. The handle was CB43, and I just was like, look, I need to completely restart. And people were like, just make your photography account, take that and just.
Yeah, why didn't you just switch it over?
Well, people kept asking me the exact same thing, and they're like, just switch it over. Just tell your audience that's what you're gonna do, and just go for it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people who were following it were following for me, the pictures, the body, whatever it may be. And that's the last thing I wanted. Because I didn't want the engagement to just skyrocket down, you know, just like it would plummet. So I was like, I'm just gonna completely restart from scratch.
But what about like people that like have changes in their career randomly, you know, like, because I feel like some people, like Logan Paul, for example, like a crazy example, is like he's a YouTuber, but now he's doing like fighting, right? So he's kind of showing like him as a person is like changing in certain ways. You didn't think of going that route?
I think that's just strictly like a person's evolution. What, especially with his circumstance, with being already so rich.
But it's also true because he's on video and you kind of see his personality in that. Whereas like as a model, like people are following you for like the literally just like the.
That's what it was, and like there was nothing more to the platform at the time. There were no stories. There were no Instagram reels. There was no. There was nothing of this, right?
Yeah.
So it was strictly just posting photos that other photographers took of me with my shirt off, and numbers would 4,000 likes, 10,000 likes, 15. Like it just keep going, going, and like you see that and you get hungry for it, right? But I was just like, it's just not me. It's not who I was.
Yeah. No.
And just everything needed to change very fast.
And when did you pick up that first camera and start taking pictures?
I was doing a show called Tops from the Leslie Pearson School Board here in Montreal.
Okay.
And I started going through a really, really dark time. I needed to find an outlet. So a friend of mine, he was like, here. And he gave me a camera. It was a Canon T5i that was supplied by the school board. And I just started taking behind the scenes of how production worked, of how the dancers were moving, just everything. I started taking video, and I found myself getting muscle memory of how this camera worked. Whether it be ISO, change the aperture, change the shutter speed, and it was all just super fast. I could do it with my eyes closed, behind my back, whatever I needed to do.
And are you YouTubing and stuff, or are you just literally just?
I just started playing with buttons and just learning fast, and then it just took me by it just took a hold of me, and that's it. I was like, this is it. Every time I pick this up, I have the biggest smile on my face. My eyes light up. And this is the best outlet I've ever seen in my life. It just...
Yeah, you're the first photographer to come on with the camera in hand.
Oh man, this thing never leaves my side.
Yeah.
Never. Unless I put it down to do something, but like, never leaves my side.
I see that you have car photography as well. What did you start off in, like the music side or the car stuff?
I grew up with my dad owning a garage.
Okay.
So I see my dad build car after car. I see my brother build car.
Where in Montreal are you going?
LaSalle. South side, like in the south of Montreal. Okay. So LaSalle. That's where I played football, went to school, all that.
Okay.
I grew up with my dad building cars after car, and I seen it go through garages, and that's just, it became me. So like, I wanted to also share that passion and then use this. So I just started taking photos of just cars. I'd go to the Orange Julep on Wednesday night and take photos of their cars and just pass out my little business card, and they'd hit me up and be like, hey, do you have those photos? Then I'd see that they post it and they tag, and I'm like, okay. And then all their car people were like, hey, I love your colors. I love the way that you get low. I love the way that you capture my ride.
The angles,
and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I started getting people hitting me up every day. They're like, hey, do you want to shoot my car? Do you do video? Let's do here. I'll be in Montreal. I want you to shoot my car. And then I had the bigger festivals like JDM Fest, Honda Fest, Eurocracy. Pages with 50,000 followers messaging me on Instagram saying, hey, we love your work, come and shoot. And then I just see it in like 40-degree weather outside with thousands of people in a racetrack. It's just the smell of burning rubber, and it just people started gaining traction, and then
And this is all just through Instagram pictures?
Instagram, Facebook, mostly Facebook, especially with cars. It was mostly Facebook. Mm-hmm. Because I find like the car community it lives on Facebook.
Yeah, especially in Montreal.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
So like my page went up 500 likes, another 200 likes. Every like festival I post like 150, 200, 300 photos. And like I look at my phone an hour later after posting the album, there's like 300 comments of people tagging their friends. That's your car. That's your car. That's your car. And they're posting it, saving it, and it just didn't stop.
Did you have a project car at this time?
I did have a project car. It was a '98 Subaru Legacy GT Turbo.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of getting your bike license?
That's so funny because yesterday I was looking at motorcycles on my phone, and I was like, maybe I could just like drive around on a motorcycle.
That'd be
like,
pretty sick.
A bit of a camera like set up on my back and shit. And I was like, maybe I don't even need a license. Maybe I can just go fast enough on a bike, you know? Just like,
with a bike, you can easily get away.
You know, just gone.
Yeah, just the emergency lane and you're out.
Exactly. Just in between cars, traffic, hit the side, just gone. I mean, in the end, it all depends on transportation for me because, again, everywhere I go, no matter what, is a moment can always happen. You never know who you're going to see. You never know what you're going to see or experience. So especially with like a photographer mindset, I need my camera. I need my lenses. I need everything.
Yeah.
As much as I try to be like a minimalistic person when it comes to keeping the gear with me, like I'll go on trips for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I'll carry my JanSport bag with a laptop, a pair of pants, the shirts I have, and my camera gear. That's all I need. It's like it's all black. It's all black.
It's true, yeah. So you were black for a reason, right? You're trying to be low key.
I try and play ninja when it comes to like photography. I'd rather when people don't see me. If you see my flash, please don't acknowledge it. Just keep doing what you need to do, and that's what matters.
Don't like pose for the camera.
No, never. Unless we're in a studio setting or I come up to you and I'm like, hey, yo, you want a picture?
Yeah.
Then I'll snap the pics. But in that case, I'm here to do my job. You're clearly doing something on your own. Continue to do it so I can get those candid shots that really describe who you are as a person.
Yeah, usually when people see that initial flash, like people just start flocking to the camera. Like, oh, take a picture of me and my friend.
That's exactly, especially in any club scene. Oh my God. Especially club scene here in Montreal.
Yeah.
I walk into a club, people see the yellow strap and they see the hat or something and they're nuts. People are like, take a photo. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. I need to get to the DJ booth.
Yeah.
You know, my artist is coming in the back right now and I need to
to
get to the DJ booth. And people are like, CB, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I have like friends there or like football teams that know me or this, and I'm like, oh.
Right, yeah, you did.
So swarmed sometimes.
You did photography for the Abbott football team, right?
Yeah. I covered them for a full season. I used to play on the team and then I hurt my knee and I was like, look, I can't do this. And then I dropped out.
Okay.
And I was like, let me just come back and film. So I did a little documentary on the full season. That's out. After we released that on YouTube, it did very, very well. It was like very bad.
Okay.
But it's like a 30-minute documentary for the whole season.
Oh, is it a legit doc?
Yeah, legit doc.
Okay.
And it was a whole season, the whole playoff run, like this one a whole game I lost the footage to.
Oh shit.
And I found it like last week, so I might have to put it in there and redo the whole video.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's just going to be better now.
Exactly. Even though it's like a 2-year-old doc, I feel like it still can just play a part in my creative journey, you can say.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like when you put up your work consecutively or like consistently, I mean, you see that growth. Like the micro you don't really notice, but then when you look back at it, which is like a reason why we started vlogging right now too, right?
Exactly.
So like you could go back and look at how far you've come.
Like I watched it. I'm like, I wish I did coloring better. I wish I used this color grading instead, and I wish the typography was a little bit different.
Yeah, and that motivates people to like feel like, okay, yeah, I could do this too. You know, seeing where you started from. Walk me through like the situation of like when you were thinking of dropping out and having that battle. Like, was it clear for you as soon as you realized the photography world?
So when I went to college, I was already taking photos. Yeah. Not the stature I say now, but I had already started doing my car stuff. I started really exploring with portraits, like creative portraits, maybe like a shadow or like hand up on the sun or that type of thing.
Right, yeah.
In class, they're teaching us how to use Photoshop. And this time, I already know Photoshop front and back. I know Lightroom front and back. And it was super slow and It's just not getting anywhere. And then the teacher is teaching what she knows as of photography, right? Art, anything creative, I truly believe deep down that you can't teach it.
I don't think there's like any kind of basics that you should learn, because like creativity, I feel like it's like a natural thing that you just, it's like a different part of your brain, right?
It's definitely a different part of your brain. Like I can walk down the road and I'll be like, I wish right now in this instant a car would just go by and I'd be able to hit that and take a photo because that house looks great with that tree and there's a like this and that. I can literally just visualize it in a snap of a finger. And that I feel like that's the creative instinct in a brain that's just gonna just snap in.
Have you ever like missed something that you could have got? Like say like the perfect lineup of like a bus passing like a thing, and like have you tried like re-getting that shot by just like waiting there and like making it happen again?
So a perfect shot, as in like it's everything's in line and I can see it, and I wish I could have taken that photo, happens at least twice a day. Okay. And I won't go back to retry and do it, but there will be some like I recently took a photo in downtown Montreal on St. Catherine. It was super snowy that night, and I just gotten like I had this filter for my 50mm, which is a star filter, four line star filter, and I just wanted the snow. I wanted to be above the city and just shoot down the street. It was like every time I think of this photo, I was like I didn't need it. And finally that night I was like, look, I'm just gonna go get it. So I went and got it, and as soon as I looked at it, I was like, this is it. I kind of just stood there for a second, and then my camera died, and I was like, that was the last photo I was able to take.
Oh shit.
And that's the coolest thing ever.
And you specifically went out to take that specific photo? Okay.
Along the way, I'd go to like point A, I'd take photos there, and then make my way all the way to point B, where would be my, like, I guess you can call it my final destination to the proper shot I want to get.
What's like a shot that you have to get? Like what's like a bucket list shot that you want to get?
Besides like Mount Fiji, is it Fuji? Fiji?
It's Fiji, yeah.
It's Fiji, right? Besides Mount Fiji in Japan, just with a building on like the left side, super cropped in through the like cherry blossom trees in the spring.
Yeah, it's like anime.
Oh man, almost. It's almost. I don't watch anime, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't watch anime either.
Okay, well, even better.
That's what I'm just relating to those anime scenes.
I mean, besides that, it's a portrait of the front man of Green Day. It would have to be in a room. The floors, walls, and ceiling all would have to be in checkers, small checkers. He would have to wear a pink, like a very like pimpy like suit. Pink, like flamingo pink. Like
what Drake's dad wears in the beginning of that video? Okay.
Kind of like that, but like nice and fitted, nice and tight.
Okay.
He'd have to be like on some type of like throne or a very, very old wooden stool with his either a black Les Paul or his famous blue guitar with the BJ on it and a pink Cadillac behind him.
How's that vision so specific? Like
it's just I want to be featured on the cover of Rolling Stone, and I feel like that is the shot that would do it.
That the checkered thing does remind me of like Rolling Stone vibes for sure.
That's why I said pink, and because the Rolling Stone logo is red, so it just I feel like it just fits so perfect.
Yeah.
And like, hey, Rolling Stone, if you hear this and you really want to do a story about him, just I got the ideas.
Yo, power of attraction, bro. It's gonna happen. You know, you already put it out there. It's gonna happen. There's pictures of Murda Beats just like leaning against the wall and like posing. How did that happen? Was that just random?
So me and Murda, we've shot a couple times already, whether it be from Ilsonic, New Year's Eve parties, the morning of like the Floor Seats tour with A$AP Ferg. Okay. I was at home, I was editing some music videos, and my phone starts ringing, and it just MGMT Murda. And I was like, okay, it's probably like Corey or it's Brennan or whoever it may be. So I pick it up and I'm like, hey, what's good? And they're like, so we're in the city, we're getting in right now, we're coming from Toronto. Meet us at MTL and we need a video. I'm like, all right, cool. Charge my batteries right away and get to the venue. And then they were like, there was actually problems getting into the venue at first because like they didn't put my name on any list.
Oh shit, okay.
And Luca, he was just here on the podcast.
Yeah, Fontaine, yeah.
And I see him and I'm like, look, fuck, you know, he's like, I know, you know, I know, you like, I'm like, so he calls them and he gets them in everything worked out. You know, you get in the venue. And
this is in Montreal, right?
Yeah,
okay.
here at the MTL.
Okay.
And then I head downstairs. I see everybody. I watch Murda comes on to open up. Video, photo. Hop up, run around the venue like always. And those photos only come after the show. So we're sitting in, he comes off stage and ASAP's about to go on Ferg. ASAP Ferg about to go on stage. Me, I'm not, hired to see that thing or shoot that. So I head downstairs and we're just in the green room. Murda's there.
Are you not allowed to shoot that?
It's just I wasn't hired to do that. So
okay,
like
so you didn't
my passes, I didn't even have a pass. I was just there,
Right,
everyone knew him, knew me as okay, that's Murda's video guy, and that's his job to do right now. You had Brian that's up in the rafters, and he was running around also, his photographer, which if you have the chance, please go check him out.
For sure, yeah.
And
what's his name on Instagram?
I'll send it to you, Brian Chong.
Brian Chong, okay.
And we're just in the green room, just talking, we're on whatever, just chilling, having drinks. And what I like to do is candid photos. I feel like that's what I'm best known for, especially with celebrities. So I bury myself in the corner in the back room and just on my 50 mil, just
ninja mode.
Ninja mode. Just swivel up my screen, just start taking those photos. But before we went back back onto stage, because ASAP brings Murda out for a couple songs. And before he walked out, I was like, yo, right now, what you're wearing, you have the black, your hair's proper, your chains are out, they're nice and sparkly right now, and there's this green, the green wall. And I was like, I just need a picture. I need this picture. So I was like, hold up your chains and kind of look down at them. He looked at me, and I took a couple photos of him looking straight into the camera. I was like, it's not gonna do it. It needs not to be posed. So I'm like, he's like, okay. So he picked up his chain. I think it was, his left hand. He picked it up and kind of looked down and just snapped one photo. I looked at it. I showed him. I was like, that's it. I'll send it to you. And just right there, I turned around, tossed on my laptop, edited and sent it over. And then we ran us back upstairs. We were playing darts. And then
do you always edit and send the pictures right after?
As soon as possible. If I have to, I'll Wi-Fi it to my phone.
Okay.
Straight to my phone. I have all my, if I need to, I have presets already made for certain type of things. I always start with the CB43 Media, so it's never someone else's preset. It's always something I've made. Toss it on. If it looks good, save to camera roll, airdrop.
Is it just because you're really eager to edit it, or is it because you like getting your shit done right away and sending it? One,
I'm eager, but two, this industry, whether it be music, whether it be anything else, it happens right now. And if you post it now, it'll be seen. But if it's posted later, 2 hours after the show is done. People forget about it. They're going home. They have other things to do. If you're going to get stuff done, get it done now. Don't wait. If someone asks you to do something, get it done. You're not just going to sit there and wait.
Yeah.
You're just going to... The faster you can get your shit done, the faster you can move on with your life.
And it's kind of more relevant too, right? With the times,
it's exactly what it is.
People remember the memories of the night, and then they see the pictures right after.
And especially when it comes to creators, the artists you work with, they're doing their job, and they expect you to do yours, right? So if they finish their concert, right after their concert, they have to go to their hotel, get washed, get dressed, and then hop back into their van or whatever it may be, and then go to an after party. You don't have time waiting around to do something. So the time that you shoot the concert and the time that they're partying downstairs, doing meet and greets, doing whatever, you don't actually need to cover that sometimes. Whether it be the video guys doing that already, or most people aren't going to ask you, hey, do you have a business card so I can get your professional DSLR photo of me and whatever artist it may be a week from today. They're going to flip out their iPhone and tell their friend to take a photo of them. Or the security is going to take a photo of them, of them both, That's just how it works. And it's sad, but it's beneficial for me. Because I can run down to the green room and the 50 photos or the 60 photos that I just took of this concert for this opener or whatever it may be, it gets down to 10 photos of the 10 complete bangers. Just toss on nice colors, make them all nice. And I'm like, format it for Instagram because that's where they're going to post it.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's where they're going to post it. And then afterwards, I keep all the raw files. If labels want them, then I'll edit them properly. All of them completely.
So are these pictures that you're choosing out of the 50?
Yeah.
Do you ever go back and then realize there's other pictures that could have been great
Of
too?
course. And then I'll do my best on those photos also. And even if it is 3 months, 4 months, 5 months after prior or after, I'll still send them over.
Yeah, it's just like bonus at that point.
It's just exactly it's exactly what it is, bonus, and I'll still get a reply, and they're like, "Yo, these are fucking sick." And I'm like, "Hey, I appreciate it."
Have you ever used your camera to like sneak into a place?
Okay, so one day I did a small tour with Corday, and I met him out in Ottawa. We shot the show, and we shot another show. And I came back to Montreal, and 2 days later, he had a show in Toronto. His manager hit me up, and he's like, "If you want to shoot, you can come shoot." But whatever. I had to pay my way to get there, which doesn't really matter, honestly. But it's a 6-hour bus ride. So I hopped on a bus, and I got to Toronto. I walked around the whole day, and at this point, I forgot that I didn't book a hotel. I didn't book an Airbnb. I was just super excited for this show, and my bus the next morning back home.
How early did you know about this show?
It was I had maybe a 24-hour warning.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
So within the hour he told me, I booked a bus right away. I was like, okay. So that morning,
I'll figure out lodging. When
I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's okay. To make sure all my camera stuff was ready, I was like, I know I'm gonna be in Toronto, so I'm gonna go shoot the CN Tower. I'm gonna go shoot this. I'm gonna walk around. I get to the venue. The show is supposed to start at 7. I get to the venue at 6:30. I'm waiting outside. I'm messaging the manager. I'm getting no answers. I'm messaging Corday. I'm getting no answers. I'm like, So I messaged his photographer, Nico. Nico in the morning had problems at the airport and couldn't get into the country. So I was like, okay, no worries. And then I get a message. He messaged me back and said, hey, I just landed at Pearson. I'm like, okay, the only reason I'm here today is because he wasn't going to be here.
Yeah. So what is he saying? Like, you don't need to come?
You know?
Is he
I'm like, I'm already here.
Is he messaging you saying you
Kinda.
don't have to come? Okay.
I'm like, I'm already here.
Yeah.
So in the end, I'm like, look, whether I get paid or not for this, I love concerts so much, and I love to shoot them. So the opener was walking in, and I went to go see. My name was on the list. My name wasn't on the list. So I saw the opener walk back out, and I was like, okay, I have to figure out right now how am I going to get that into that show without a wristband or passes. I walked around. The back door was locked. Everything's tricks of the trade. And I see him walking in, so I kind of just follow him nice and quick. Pop up my camera like this.
Does he know you're following him?
No, not at this point. So I'm just whatever. And the ticket lady that looks at the guest list, she tries to stop me. And I'm like, look, I'm just trying to do my job. I'm trying to film him. We're filming a documentary. I need to go now. This is my job. I need to do it.
While you're doing this, he doesn't hear.
He doesn't hear it. He doesn't. He's like a couple feet in front of me. So I could be zoomed in, you know?
Yeah.
He doesn't need to know that, you know?
Yeah, I gotta...
So I tell her, I'm like, look, you're doing a job and I need to do a job. And you see me, I'm right here, I'm doing my job. I need to go do it.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, no worries, just go.
Did you guys say shit with confidence?
Yeah. I shot that show and that was one of the best shows I've ever shot.
Oh yeah?
Yep. Great. After that show, my phone was dead, my laptop was dead, everything was dead, and I had nowhere to go. So I just kind of walked around downtown Toronto and just waited until my bus the next morning and came home, edited that shit, sent it off to Corday, and he's like...
where did you sleep for the night? You didn't sleep?
No.
Okay, so you're just out.
No, CB doesn't sleep. Walked around, spoke.
Okay, and then you just took pictures?
Took photos of fucking the CN Tower, and just people to talk to, you know?
Yeah.
And just kind of hopped on the bus, came home, and it's a story to tell.
You have a podcast, right, that you're going to start soon?
Yes. I'll be starting a podcast, and it's called Before the Shutter. And somehow, some way, I got the website, the emails, and all of it to brand it perfectly. Made the logo and decided on a theme. So it's working. I haven't shot a video, any of the interviews yet, but I sent out a bunch of emails. I got some confirmations, and obviously, people that have declined. I just got declined by Eminem's photographer. I was like, hey, would you love to be on my podcast? You do incredible work. I find it's raw, it's rugged, it shows a personality, it shows creativity, it shows all these things that people want to see and hear about. But he said he kindly declined, and I was like,
at least he answered though, right?
You know what? That's the thing. That's the thing. As long as they answer, I'll take it.
Yeah, I feel like by answering, they're kind of open to in the future they might.
Exactly, because it's there, you know, you already have that little bit of a footstep in.
Communication, yeah.
And if they're willing to actually answer you and give you like the time of day, whether it be seconds or a minute, to type in that email or that DM or whatever it is back to you, don't take that for granted. You know, like they, as busy people, took that time to answer you. So just you have to try. So I'm trying to hit up the biggest photographers possible first, because you just never know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
you'd be surprised how many people say yeah when you just ask. You know.
Like I have to hit up. I'm about to hit up the content like manager of Rolling Loud. It's just a bunch of like I just messaged Pot Smoke's photographer.
Okay.
So he might be on the podcast coming up.
Dope.
And just that's going to be a bunch of stories.
So you're going to basically just Zoom these people and
just Zoom call these people. I just finished up building my set at home.
Oh, you have a set going on?
Yeah.
Dope.
It's kind of the same thing with the blue and red.
Dope.
But now that I see this, I'm going to have to kind of change it.
You don't have to.
Oh, man.
Is it behind the scenes of the set building on your vlogs?
There will be. I do plan on it.
Okay, dope.
I do plan
on
it. I'll kind of just toss my camera up and just hit record and just do everything real quick and just time lapse the shit out of that.
That's one thing I regret about when I was building this set. Like I didn't take any content of me building the set, which like I wish I did now.
I'll just take it all down.
Take it all down and do it. If we were to be like in the future and there's AI and everything's like, you know, Neuralink with Elon Musk, and we have like the ability to take pictures with our eyes, because you know how you're always ready to shoot.
Of course.
Like now you could get moments like at a way faster rate. Would you be down to get that brain chip?
How in depth would it be? Do I have the choice of focal lengths, aperture, f-stop, shutter speed, ISO? Do I have can I choose these things?
Yeah, but obviously in the beginning it's going to be like a shitty camera, and then eventually it's going to get better and better.
Okay.
So would you be like a early adopter is what I'm asking?
I think I'd definitely do it.
Okay.
I wouldn't give up my camera on my hip, but I would definitely just do it. Especially I think it would be so crucial in candid moments.
Yeah, right. Just
because my eye can just kind of just shoot over and it's bang, click.
Just
wink. Maybe a wink. That's what it has to be. It's it's just it's done, click.
Or you have to do a specific movement.
It's like Fortnite.
Yeah, like a Fortnite dance.
And it's you do one. It's what are you doing? I'm taking photos. It's okay.
Yeah. So you would take that?
Of course. I implant it right now. Let's just do a couple shots right now using this light.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it would be better than the availabilities on a camera, because now I feel like you could now focus in really specific ways that you can't really do on ISO and
Yeah, I think it's just how you'd have to train it,
Yeah.
and how powerful you can actually use this product.
Yeah, it would be like an AI that you train.
Exactly.
Time travel. Which era would you go to for photography?
For photography?
Which area would you want to live your photographer life in? Or even if you had the ability to jump back.
I would definitely have to go back to maybe the beginning of the 70s.
Okay.
The cars are so cool.
Okay.
The people were cool. The style was amazing. The music was out of this world. It's live. It's fun. There's no electronic beats here. It's all made for real on a drum set, on a guitar. People are screaming into mics and making you listen to the message. They have something to say.
So you want to see their perspectives.
People aren't zombified, as my dad says, in their phones. People are actually talking to people. You're going out to have coffee and talking about your week, and you're like, hey, I have tickets to this concert. You want to go? And it's going to be the time of your life, because afterwards you're going to be in your old man's Corvette or this or that, because that was what it was.
Yeah, and cars were more affordable back then too. You could get a brand new car for a decent amount of money as a young person that works.
Especially when schools would just seem so much more cool then.
Yeah.
They the proper Letterman jackets and the football teams, and it just seems so much better.
Yeah, but that's basically what we see of it, right? It's what's portrayed. So who knows? And do you think that's gonna come back after COVID, now that we're all locked down? Do you think the phone zombie thing might disappear?
That's a good... Whoa. I didn't actually think of that, because people are going to be so... it can either go one of two ways. People are actually going to get outside and put down their phone because they haven't seen their friends' face in so long.
Mm.
Or they're going to just be so brainwashed now because this is all they know that's all they're going to know.
I think they're going to be like antisocial in a sense?
They're going to be on their phone looking down, reading messages, and they're going to find themselves texting the person next to them and be like, hey, do you want to have a drink?
Yeah, that could bring me back to the brain chip thing. Like, imagine it gets to a point where we don't need to communicate anymore, and
you just kind of like look at them and
telepathically.
Yeah.
So telepathically, you're basically just texting the person beside you. You know what I mean?
It's like, hey.
Like it's like if I were to take my phone,
them the photo.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like done.
It's
like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds cool. Did you edit it? Yeah, already done.
I took the
photo. It was like tethered straight into Lightroom in my head. Just done.
Your left eye takes the picture and your right eye edits.
You just like right eye starts twitching. It's like, what are you doing?
That's like next level.
Just give me a second, please. I'm trying to edit this. It's like
that Black Mirror episode where people's eyes are just controlling them.
Yeah. Or that little black chip they put here and it's like...
Yeah, dude,
they
imagine you just like get shot into like 10 years from now and you just see people in like a diner just zoned out, not even a phone in their hand, just zoned out.
It's just there. It's like mush.
Something's going on in their head, you just don't know because it's all through their eyes.
Yeah. It's like, wow.
That, like, for your dad, like the phone zombies is what that's going to be like for us.
I feel like it. There's technology is moving so fast and so rapidly that no one could keep up. Like I bought this last year and I have to go and replace this camera because it's just not meeting industry standards now.
Yeah, that's the rough part about the photography world is that you got to just, I mean, it's not too rough if that's what you're investing in all the time.
Well, I'll say when it comes to video, then that's where you have to consistently upgrade. You have to get 4K and 6K. Now it's 8K. Now people are shooting at 12K and
that's better than real life.
Even the new Macs, like the new Apple Pros or whatever they're called, they can't run 12K footage. Like there's no point. It's at like 64 or like 120 something bit rate and blah blah blah, and it's like, what do you?
Like people still argue that you could put up videos on YouTube at 1080 versus 4K.
Like we recently just put up YNG Trav's new like Pound Cake remix.
Right. Yeah.
And that was my first video. I completely in 4K. It was all 24 frames a second. I was like, okay. And I was able to upload to YouTube at 4K. And I see the 2160 4K setting, and I'm like, yo, that shit is sick. You know? And it's like, I can't even watch it in 4K because none of my things are 4K.
That's funny because, I wonder how many people are editing in 4K that can't even watch it in 4K.
So many. Honestly, probably so many.
Yeah.
Like, I can go and buy a 4K monitor, you know? But, like...
You don't really need to, though.
There's no point.
Yeah.
In the end, it's no point. Whether you're watching in 4K or watching in 1080p, your mind is still going to perceive it the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, because you look at like the video games we used to play and how like I remember San Andreas on PS2. I was like, shit. I don't know. Have you ever played GTA?
I've played San Andreas. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you know how you're like able to drive in cars all of a sudden, and it's like a free world, and like you just think the graphics are crazy, and then now the newest GTA, it's a complete different thing, and like you only see it that way once you see it that way. You know. I wanted to ask you about Makeway Studios. How did you start getting involved in?
About 6 years ago, I was on a set of a music video. An old friend of mine, he started music, and this was even before like I picked up a camera. And this is when Makeway was building their first location in Verdun. And we went downstairs and we put white all over the basement, everywhere. And we were doing a giant paint fight for this video.
Okay.
Like cans of paint on people, just fucking going at it.
Shit.
And that's where I met Buds. And then a couple years went by. I just kind of worked on cars and this and that. And then one of the artists that's working with the label that is a partner at Makeway, he was like, hey, I really love your work. Come to the studio session. So I was like, sounds good. Went to the studio session, did some shots, had a good time, listening to some music. And he's like, I want you to come upstairs and meet my label. Met the label, and then for about a year we worked together. So that's why it's just like, everything just kind of like came into one. And I started working with Buds more. I started working with the label more, and then me and Buds, we would go on trips to Nova Scotia. He did a tour. We'd do that, and music videos, shoot music videos. None of them come out, but it's just, you know, we'd just go out and just shoot, just shoot. And he'd be like, "Hey, come check out this music." Run downstairs to the studio, check it out, chill there, you know. So that's just kind of, it was like, that's kind of what it was.
It just like happened naturally, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's natural. They have the photo studio, you know. You shoot there. That's where I shoot. The photo box MTL. That's where I shoot. If I need photos.
Yeah, that's what they have in your upstairs, right? Yeah, I was thinking of checking that place out actually.
Like we come by.
How do you learn about a client before you shoot them?
Honestly, a lot of the times it's on the spot.
Okay.
It's right there. When they DM me or they email me to book, I always try to ask them, well, what's the vibe you're going for? Do you have inspiration of what you want to try and make it look like? Do you have, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But if they're like, hey, I'm giving it all to you, then I'm like, okay, well, I'll ask them just some questions, some random things. And I'll always start with maybe a phone call. How's your day? What'd you do this week? How you doing? Well, you know, and then it'll go to the next question of, well, what do you plan on wearing? And then it's, do you want it in a photo studio or do you want to go lifestyle? So we can go meet somewhere and we do some shots. And like, do you have locations?
So you make them do that decision of like,
I always give them,
options?
what I like to do is I give them options.
Okay.
I love to, you know, give people options and they can choose. They can make up their mind. If you really have to, you'll make up your mind.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I can give you all the options you need. And if they say lifestyle, then I'll be like, okay. So do you want to go more of a rugged style? Do you want to go modern? And then I'll try and relate it back to what they want to wear.
Right.
So if they do want to wear those muted colors, then I'll bring them to the Old Port. Or I'll bring them to the Plateau where we want to do real contrasty photos of the graffiti wall. And now they're having nice bright colors.
What's your favorite spot to shoot in Montreal?
My favorite spot?
Yeah.
Wow. I actually don't have one.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the shoot as well, right?
Me, I'll tell you right now, I cannot stand the city for photos.
Okay.
I'll say point out, like, it's the worst. I find it's the worst city to take photos.
Oh, yeah?
It's overdone. Our fashion district has destroyed any location.
Yeah, sure.
Everywhere I look, I've seen someone do it. I want to show that there's a life, there's a world, go out and explore. So I really rather just shoot in nature.
So after COVID, you obviously want to travel, right?
I want to travel right now.
Yeah. Like
right now. Like today. Let me go on a plane right now.
Where would you go though?
Definitely Tokyo.
Okay.
It's, whether it be the culture, the cars, the people.
The cars are sick there.
Oh man, I just need it all. The sushi, just the language,
the food,
the people around, it's amazing. And especially with like nighttime photography in like Tokyo and like Osaka and all these places.
It's like cyberpunk.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You toss your camera on a tripod, you hit that like 3-second shutter and like boost that f-stop all the way up and ISO all the way down. Just long exposure, the crap out of everything. Engagement wise, and people love it. But that's because that's just what people see. That's what people like. And these people who do these cyberpunk like stuff and it's completely themed on Instagram like that, you will see they'll have 100,000 followers. Because 100,000 people plus more are really interested in this stuff.
It's like a trend right now that's like the style that looks cool, you know?
It's like, you'll see, when you go on Instagram, you'll see these urbexing photographers who go in like abandoned buildings and they go and do like skyscraper, like they walk up on skyscrapers and take photos of their feet and this and that. Me, I've done it, but I'm not gonna say that's who I am. But these people, they literally brand themselves that way.
Yeah, that's
they're gonna have 300,000 like followers.
Yeah, but there's 300,000 people that just want to see that this guy slips and falls, you know?
Facts. You're not Spider-Man. It doesn't have any fulfillment.
Well, dude, really appreciate you coming, and thanks for doing a part 2. I really hope the audio recorded.
Part 2. I think audio is fine.
Hopefully.
You guys won't really see part 1. Probably not.
Yeah.
But we tried this before. We're trying it again. So if you enjoyed it, hit the like, comment, subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, smash that button.
Smash that button. Post notifications, hit that bell. And if you want to go find Lowkey MTL on Instagram, go do that too. If you want to come find my work with Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, landscapes of Banff, and all these other beautiful places, I very, very much appreciate. Come send me a DM, say what's up. Find me at CB43 Media, and all things good. You're not Spider-Man.